Good afternoon, everyone. Well, it's actually 9:15 here. Good evening, everyone. Time's not important. Welcome to Tony Hawk Tuesday. I'm looking here at the familiar skate shop of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, but if you're like me and you primarily played the GameCube version of this game and when it came out in 2001, 2002, this might look a little bit unfamiliar to you. This here is X-Ray, the first unlockable skater in the game. In just about every other port other than the PC port, which I will get to. Also, we're going to, well, I should actually finish my sentences before I start them. We're going to the oil rig, a level you may recognize from Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. But I believe in every other port of this game other than, oh, well, that's a great way to start out, other than the PC port, you will... you'll unlock Darth Maul from Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, first. A character that really lives on through time and does not date the game at all. A character who really just speaks from generation to generation, the archetypical villain. And somebody who scholars for years have tried to figure out the appeal of. Just a man with a big red painted face, and he's angry, and he's got the lightsaber with the two... Oh, wow. Okay, that was Have a Heart, which is one of his special tricks. I don't remember exactly all of them, but I can show a couple more to you if I can remember what they are. Hold on. There we go, there's one. Falling down, where he just kind of falls into a pile of bones. That's funny. That was like the most... That was like your second grade teacher reading your story, like, oh, that's funny. And, other than that, I don't remember any of the other. I guess I could go look at them. Juggle Bone Slide, Break It Down. Okay. Oh, wait, it was left to right Y. Alright. Also, this bottom part down here, I didn't even know existed until, like, I accidentally fell down here the other day. This was not the first time I've ever beaten Tony Hawk's 3 on the Xbox. I've beaten it before on the Xbox, back when I had one that worked a long while ago. Probably 2011 would have been the last time I actually beat it on this console. And I just kind of forgot about the fact that this character existed. Not so much that this level existed, but just that this was... Okay, Break It Down is, I need to get like a little bit of speed, or a little bit less speed so you can actually see what he does. You can probably hear my controller vibrating with the force of 1,000 armies, but yeah, he just kind of breakdances for a little bit. So that's X-Ray, and this is the oil rig. Of course, this was an Xbox Tony Hawk 3 exclusive before it was in American Wasteland as an actual level in the game. Which says something about American Wasteland, but I'm not sure what. Does it mean they were so lazy in creating the game that they just didn't have anywhere to, you know, to put the, to put all their creativity, or they just didn't know enough places to build, or they just assumed when I initially saw it, because I will admit I knew about American Wasteland before I knew about this level. When I initially saw it, I thought, that was like a did they think we wouldn't notice? Or did they hope that we would? Because either way, this isn't like a great level. This is an okay level, certainly. If I ever do a playthrough of American Wasteland, this is one of my... The version in American Wasteland, I think the engine actually works a little bit better for it, because you're faster and you can kind of hop around more in that game than you can in this one. Also, it's not like it's weird just to get down to the bottom level in that one as it is in this one. But, God, there's something weird about it. It felt like maybe they were running out of ideas, or maybe it was just an homage, you know, or a homage or whatever. It's like there was actually, I was going back and watching that they're doing this week. It's called, like, Summer Games Done Quick. Somebody was doing American Wasteland's the classic mode. And one of the levels in the classic mode, the last one, is called Ruins, which I believe is supposed to be like a ruined version of the LA level in Tony Hawk 3. That was a cool, if that is the case, and I can see where the inspiration kind of gets drawn from there. That's a cool little, homage that they're doing there. In the case of, like, it's kind of like in Grand Theft Auto, I'm sorry, Call of Duty 4. They had a remake of the Carrington level from the first, like, 2 or 3 Call of Duty games called Chinatown. It was just like an updated version of it. That's pretty neat. But this is just using a level you've already made. And that's not, that's not a bad thing. I'm not upset about it, but it's just like, it's just kind of weird. And I don't know if I'd say it's lazy, because I don't think it's lazy. I mean, obviously, you had to recode the level and make everything work. And this, I imagine it wasn't just a one-to-one, like, boop, there it is, like that. Also, I like how this is a lived-in level, kind of, sort of. It's not as lived in as, like, Los Angeles is. But, there's a guy right there. I can knock him down if I want. Not like the airport, where there are just people all over the place, and it really becomes a burden. The only other major things about the Xbox version of Tony Hawk 3, there are certain differences. This being one of them. These two being the only real major ones, and of course you get sound options. This isn't in any other any other version of the game. You can go from music to ambience, depending on which accent I want to pronounce that. And also you can select soundtrack, so you can look at the soundtracks I have. I have High School Musical 3. This was a used one. I didn't put that on. Even though, because I've never seen High School Musical 3, I've only seen the first two, and those are fine movies, and I don't think they needed to go into a trilogy. And of course Space Jam, which I did absolutely put on. You go to ambience, whatever, and you just kind of get oil rig noises. So like, just kind of hear birds. Sort of thing. In the airport you hear like people. That's a weird, I'll be completely honest with you, that's kind of strange, but I like it. It was interesting playing through it that way and not hearing like Alien Ant Farm every time I retried. So not that Alien Ant Farm is bad. That song Movies, it's a classic, but this was a really good soundtrack actually for the in terms of all of them. I have a tendency to overrate the soundtracks of the games of my, earlier games, the ones I kind of played more. Looking back at it, but they all have their own kind of interesting idiosyncrasies and things that make them unique. American Wasteland has all the cover versions of the classic punk tracks, there's a Suicidal Tendencies cover by, Senses Fail or something like that, and I was like, that's a little... I don't think those two bands really would have seen eye to eye, or stuff like that. There was a Fall Out Boy was covering some actual hardcore band, and it was just like, oh, okay, hold on. Not to say anything bad about either of those, because I actually have always liked Fall Out Boy, but it's just like, they're not I don't think they're fans of yours, guys. Anyway, back to the game that I was playing. That's just a little bit of a look into Tony Hawk 3. This may have looked really weird to some people. It did the first time I saw that, because I've never seen that character before, and I'd never seen that stage in this engine before. So that's just some little... And then, of course, to a lot of other people, that's just the way that Tony Hawk 3 looks. So that's just one way that the game was made. Some interesting just little bits that they added in there. I might get to I do own a copy of the PC version, and I might get to the secret hidden character on that one. His name is, you can go anywhere on the internet. It's the main character from Doom, the Doom guy, effectively as he is known, is one of the unlockable characters in the PC port. So yeah, that's the end of that video. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great day. Thank you for coming and joining me on Tony Hawk.